So this is time now. Good afternoon to all the participants who have joined here for this national web seminar. First of all, I thank you from on behalf of the department and as well as on behalf of the college to all the participants from the bottom of my heart for showing your interest in this web seminar. With the concept of respected Dr. Nirmala Rajok, Honorable Principal of Dr. Bhupendra Dutta Smriti Mahavidyalaya, Professor Dr. Ranjan Kumar Ball, retired Professor, Department of Commerce, Utkal University, Odisa, our resource person today. Professor Dr. Debashish Shur, Professor, Department of Commerce, the University of Bardhaman, our resource person today. Professor Dr. Sravani Bose, the coordinator of IQAC cell of our college. With all your permission, I'm starting the proceedings formally for today's deliberations. So the topic for today's web seminar is the impact of COVID-19 on Indian business sector. Probably this is the most discussed as well as the most relevant topic today. The way we have understood this particular pandemic and its impact on business sector at the beginning of this pandemic situation was completely different the way we perceive it today. But so what has made this particular pandemic so relevant over a long period of time? This discussion around this impact of pandemic on business sector relevant for a long period of time is probably because it has been an unprecedented event. We have not seen a similar kind of event before in history. There was a quite similar event at the start of 20th century that is known as Spanish flu, but probably at that point of time the world was not as connected as we are connected today. So definitely the pandemic impact was similar, but the impact on business was not similar. People say that the impact is even more vivid. Probably the impact is even more than the World War. That is the most dangerous event that we have experienced in the industrial world. But just like war, this pandemic also has its bad impact on most of us. But if we keep aside all these harsh realities, there are certain areas, certain sectors who actually have performed well during this pandemic. So if I just look into them through the lens of economic rationalities, they have performed well. So we can say that this is something like blessings in disguise, and that makes it very interesting to learn more and more about this particular impact. As business is dynamic, so the knowledge changes over a period of time. So if we discuss on a similar topic in different points of time, we get different knowledge. So we are really very grateful and thankful that we have got two very eminent and senior professors amongst us today to discuss about this topic. Professor Dr. Ranjan Ball from Utkal University and Professor Dr. Debashish Shur from Bardhaman University. So before I introduce them formally, may I request our Honorable Principal, Professor Dr. Nirmala Rajok, to kindly to please welcome our esteemed guests for this web seminar. Over to you, Dr. Rajok.
Namaskar, respected Sir Professor Debashish Shur, respected Professor Ranjan Kumar Ball, all guests, dignitaries, teachers, students, participants. A very good afternoon to all of you. I, on behalf of Dr. Bhupendra Dutta Smriti Mahavidyalaya, feel pleasure to welcome all of you to this national webinar. It is known to us that all the fields of our society is not healthy at present due to COVID effect and threats as well. All the educational institutions also yet to open the normal classes. The whole economy has also been affected a lot. Amid this situation, we think this webinar is very important and relevant. At this outset, Professor Debashish Shur and Professor Ranjan Kumar Ball have honored our invitation to highlight the impact of COVID-19 in business of our country. Professor Devashish Shur and Professor Ranjan Kumar Ball, both of you are most welcome to this national webinar organized by the Department of Commerce and IQAC of our college. I would also like to welcome all the distinguished dignitaries, guests, teachers, students, librarians, non-teaching associates, and everyone who joined this webinar from various parts of the country. Namaskar. Let us remain safe and healthy and make our country healthy and safe. Now let me hand over the proceeding to Dr. Abhijit Rai.
Okay, thank you, madam. Our web seminar today, the topic, as I have already discussed, is on impact of COVID-19 on Indian business sector. And first, I will call upon Dr. Ranjan Kumar Ball, followed by Professor Dr. Devashish Shur. Professor Ball will be talking on the impact of COVID-19 on accounting practices in India. Now, before I call upon Dr. Ranjan Kumar Ball, let me briefly introduce Professor Ball. Professor Ranjan Kumar Ball is a very senior professor, a scholastic academic, now retired from the Department of Commerce, Utkal University, Odisa, which is a very highly regarded university which has produced number of eminent scholars for our country. Dr. Ball has varied interests from accounting to corporate financial reporting and research methodology. He is a prolific researcher and author of several popular book titles on business mathematics and statistics, cost accounting, financial accounting, which are published from renowned publishers like S. Chand and Company, New Delhi. Professor Ball has been associated as member of Board of Studies of Osmania University, Hyderabad, Benares Hindu University, Varanasi, Northeast Hill University, Shillong, Mizoram Central University, Aizawl. He was associated with 3 central universities and 1 National Institute of Technology and many state universities for their faculty selection and syllabus preparation in last few years. He was the managing editor of Utkal Business Review during the year 2009-10, managing editor of the Odisa Journal of Commerce, Journal of Odisa Commerce Association, associated as resource person with UGC NET workshop and Research Funding Council, University Grant Commission, New Delhi. Dr. Ball was honored with the Manpatra from Odisha Commerce Association in the year 2008. Dr. Ball was felicitated by the Directorate of Distance and Continuing Education in the year 2010. Professor Ball has received Best Professor in Finance and Youth Services Award in the year 2011 by Vivekananda Institute of Social Work and Social Sciences. He is the former president of 2 large professional associations, that is Indian Accounting Association and Odisha Commerce Association. So with this introduction, may I now request Professor Dr. Ranjan Kumar Ball to kindly start his deliberations. After sir's speech, we will take up a few questions and answers, and then we'll proceed to the next speaker, Professor Dr. Shur. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Namaskar. I welcome all of you, those who are listening me. And at the outset, I sincerely thank Principal Madam and all those organizers who have invited me. Special thanks to Professor Devashish sir. And it's really a pleasure and honor for me to discuss the impact and specifically relating to accounting practices. As a former president of Indian Accounting Association, Professor Devashish told me that you can speak on this. I said, yes, okay, fine. So as many commerce teachers are there in front of me, so I will start in general, then I would be specific regarding accounting and other things. This COVID-19 has brought many challenges, many difficult times, many challenging times, but it has also brought many opportunities before us. Some say this is the best time to learn. Through these webinars and web resources, and we are fighting this third world war with one invisible enemy. More than 200 countries are fighting. Today I was reading the Economics Times. I was happy because the vaccine is coming. Maybe next month, maybe in the new year, January and February, but we are sure that the vaccine is coming. So therefore, that is one very big news for all of us. And regarding accounting, I was there for 1 year inside IIM Ahmedabad. It was a refresher course to refresh my knowledge. So we were discussing what is this accounting. And through cases we were reading, it was learning by doing, no lecture method. So there we discussed a lot that accounting is the language of business. Why it's the language? Because like English language, it also communicates. It also reports to all stakeholders for their decision making. It provides information. So therefore we say as it communicates, therefore it's a language. We also say that it's an information system. Why? Now, like any information, any system, it has integrated subsystems like input, processing, output. So therefore, a lot of outputs of accounting system for stakeholders. So it's an information system also. So with that, we'll proceed further. I was thinking today morning regarding the evaluation part also, this accounting. And I read a lot regarding many Munabhai MBBS who are present in many states of India. So without appearing the exam or through unfair means, they secure first positions or many, they got selected. So during this COVID-19 era, we have to think regarding these kind of people, take care so that they don't enter our system. Because if they enter, we are having a very bad image. All of you know that we have India, we have also Bharat. The Bharat represents the rural India, where this digital infrastructure is not very well present. Therefore, they also take the advantage of these kind of things and get their admissions into the system. Regarding this teaching learning process, I thought that I will touch a little bit. We have to go for blended teaching learning process. We have no choice now, even after pandemic also. For example, in red zones, we have no choice but to go for only online. But in green zones, we are going for blended system, both online and offline. That is, we have to prepare ourselves also. And for your information, the pedagogy is changing. We are also going for many audiovisual aids. We are going for case methods. Many new methods of teaching we are also following. And regarding curriculum also, we are changing a lot now. And in Odisa, for your information, for all the general universities around 11, we have prepared common syllabus 2 years ago, and we have given them freedom for change also, 20%, 30%. So the syllabus is excellent now in +3 level. And this year we are trying for PG level. We have gone for one entrance test for PG admissions. Already the process is on through one entrance test for all PG admissions. So we are changing our curriculum so that we are industry fit, our students are future ready, and also we are giving a lot of importance to training of teachers also. That is also very, very important. Now I will come to some of the accounting practices, all of you know, I will keep my focus only on the last decade. I will not go earlier. All of you know what happened in 2008, the global financial crisis. And after that, we have a lot of reforms also. Those are good things. When there is a crisis, many good things come out. For example, in India, we have the New Companies Act. We have many corporate reporting reforms. We have new accounting standard called IND-AS, which is equal to, you can say, 99% IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards, because the globe is one. So therefore, we need one accounting language in the world, in the globe. Therefore, efforts are on, and I think in a few years we'll achieve this dream or this goal. We have many tax reforms during last 1 decade and many things. And this pandemic in 2020 brought many challenges, not only for business organizations, but also in accounting. All of you know what this pandemic done. I will tell you only 4 things in 2 sentences. It affected adversely the operations of the business organizations. It affected adversely the cash flows. So automatically these things led to the adverse impact on the performance and health of the organization. So many companies suffered, but a few sectors also went, so to say, did well. And I know Professor Debashish sir will focus on all those things, because I was listening to him in another webinar. He has prepared a lot to tell you those information, those data he will speak. So I will not go into his domain, and I will not focus on those things. But all of you have seen the performance of our business organizations in Q1 and also in Q2. And you know what has happened every day. You read in the newspapers regarding those kind of things. Government has also taken a lot of initiatives, and recently you found those things. So thrice the government intervention was there, and those things are also essential and required. And now we have no choice, whether it's higher educational institutions like colleges, they have to go for this kind of technology or digital transformation, and they have to adopt new technology. No choice for anybody. All of us have to go for that, both the teachers and the students. I will tell you regarding some changes, keeping accounting in mind. Those are accounting changes. We teach to +2 and +3 students many principles, many generally accepted accounting principles, many concepts and conventions. All of you know, we also teach going concern principle. Now this going concern assessment is a challenge for business organizations. Why? All of you know what happened to the micro, small and medium enterprises after this COVID. After this COVID came during this last, say, 9-10 months. So many companies are dead now. But we say that the company will exist for a long, long time to come in going concern assessment. Is that true now? So it's a challenge. When you are going for going concern assessment, you have to think twice. That is it true now in this COVID era, in this pandemic era? So we have to think twice. Second, think regarding inventory measurement in the manufacturing sector. So can we follow various methods? Sometimes there is no choice but to follow one method, that is net realizable value method. Earlier choices were there. So now I find when I discuss with chartered accountants, those who are working in business organizations, they tell me that it's a problem before us because we are only following the net realizable value method. Third, think regarding impairment of assets, whether impairment of financial assets or impairment of non-financial assets or even intangible assets like goodwill. Think regarding tangible assets. In some companies, some tangible assets, they are of no use. They are not able to use them. So how much depreciation to charge? But there are also some companies in the pharmaceutical sector, those who are operating 24 hours, 3 shifts. So many such challenges are also there in financial assets. Think regarding holding subsidiary companies. The holding companies have investments in subsidiary companies, and those investments are also subject to this kind of impairment. So the chartered accountants are facing a lot of challenges regarding this impairment of assets. The fourth one, think regarding revenue recognition. Some accountants, so even in we find challenges in the impairment of assets. I was telling you, whether it's financial assets, non-financial assets, or intangible assets, the chartered accountants are facing a lot of challenges. Regarding revenue recognition also, they were telling me now a lot of sales returns are there. So for that, the business organizations are facing challenges. So next one regarding provisions, whether it's provision for doubtful debts or provision for contingent liabilities or provision for depreciation, other things, they're also facing a number of challenges regarding provisions. And all of you know, those who are reading newspapers, say leasing. We have financial lease, operating lease. Recently, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs changed the Ind AS regarding leasing. So it was changed. And those kind of changes are also required. And the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is taking a lot of initiative regarding those kind of changes which are needed, which are desirable to face these COVID challenges. And regarding many others, even reporting reforms, I found the risk reporting is a challenge now. Many companies, they are going from numbers to narratives. Their size of annual report is very big. I was going through annual report of Reliance Industries Limited last year. I found it's more than 460 pages. So you see how they are changing from numbers to narratives to satisfy all kinds of stakeholders. So that those kind of challenges are there. They are leveraging the technology, and because some crimes are also coming, you are reading in newspapers, they are trying to take care of those things. Some reporting reforms, I will tell you, we have kept that in the commerce syllabus. Recently, we have changed. We have kept some reporting reforms which we are having in 21st century. Say regarding, when we started this 21st century, there were number of scams. All of you know regarding that. Enron died, WorldCom died, Tyco died in 2001 December. So then in 2002, the SOX Act came in US. Then we also borrowed some points from that act. And we also changed the corporate governance structure. Then after that, we faced the 2008 Black September. And all of you know what was the fate of Lehman Brothers. Then again in 2009, the Satyam scam was there. So after all those things, we got our new Companies Act. with many reforms. All of you know regarding that. Whenever we are teaching business or we are teaching accounting or any subject, we have to keep in mind the new Companies Act of 2013. So accordingly, we have to teach. So after all those things, all of you know how the sustainability reporting developed, and after that, how the integrated reporting developed. I think all of you know that in 2017, February 6, the Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI, made one circular and told 500 big companies of India, listed companies, to follow this integrated reporting. So many reforms are coming and we have no choice but to follow those reforms. And we have to include them also in the syllabus and other things. In my last part of my talk, I will tell you some interesting things. Say what to do. This COVID is there, in business organizations are suffering, even the higher educational institutions are suffering. I have seen, we have discussed a lot in many webinars that we have to focus on research. We have to focus on multidisciplinary research also. Whether it's higher educational institution, even in the companies, I was discussing with senior management people, they told me that they are also investing in R&D. They are trying to find out how to leverage this technology or virtual platforms, or how to extract benefits from this kind of digital revolution, which is already there. So research focus we have to do. There is no choice, because this pandemic will continue for a few more months, no doubt regarding that. We have to balance many things. We have to balance lives, we have to balance the livelihood also. So many balancing act all of us have to do in business, in higher educational institutions. We also need a lot of reforms to ease our business. No doubt regarding that, ease of doing business, we have to focus on that. The government is doing some work on this. We also need ease of living and ease of learning also. Those focus would be there, no doubt. The new education policy, all of you know, is there. Many good things are also there. As the principal madam is there, I will tell her something interesting. Earlier, all the principals focused on physical infrastructure and digital infrastructure. Now the focus is changing to intellectual infrastructure and emotional infrastructure. Intellectual infrastructure, the focus is on teachers. Focus is on teaching staff. So that is intellectual infrastructure. We need quality teachers. Unless the teachers are good, we can't have good outputs. We can't have good outcomes. So that focus is there. We are doing that in Odisa. Then emotional infrastructure. We find in pandemic a lot of fear psychosis, not only among students, but also among teachers. They fear to handle the online classes. Why they fear? Because everything is recorded here. Because if they tell something wrong, that is also recorded. And students are very smart now. So they can easily go to Google, or we call that as Google Baba. Immediately they can go to Google Baba and find out what is what. So therefore the teachers have to read a lot and prepare a lot. And this, for the emotional well-being of the students, emotional well-being of the teachers, the principals or the leaders have to do a lot of work. That is going on, as I am associated with many higher educational institutions. I know that yes, emotional infrastructure we also need. Regarding teachers, because many teachers are present here, I will also tell them 4 things. When I joined as a teacher around 4 decades ago, so my teacher told me that your job is teaching and research, nothing more. But now I tell my young friends, those who are joining, that your role, your job or your duty is 4 things, not 2 things. Teaching and research, yes, these 2 things are there for the last 100 years. Specifically for commerce and management teachers, we are adding 2 things. NAC is also focusing, all of you know, regarding the National Assessment and Accreditation Council. I am also one of the assessors there. So it's also focusing on consultancy. It's also focusing on extension activities. That means outreach activities. Even government is also offering a lot of consultancies to teachers. The government departments, state government departments, many departments of the government they are also offering. And the companies are also offering some consultancy services to the teachers. So why not to exploit those kind of benefits? So that focus the institution should do, the consultancy and then the outreach activities. Those are important. Because I was working for World Bank after my retirement, we have a beautiful, the Odisha government has received more than 1,000 crores for development of higher education. This is unique. I think West Bengal is yet to receive that from the World Bank. I think Madhya Pradesh has received. Only a few states have received. So Odisha has received more than 1,000 crores. I was working for 5 districts. And in our research study, we found out the main problem in the colleges is the governance problem, is the leadership problem, is the problem of managing the institution. So therefore, a lot of reforms are also required to do a lot of things to meet these governance deficits or this that problem is there. Our program is called Odisha Higher Education Program for Excellence and Equity. Beautiful name given by the World Bank. So we need a lot of pandemic-driven reforms. There is no doubt regarding that. Then regarding, I think only a few minutes are there. I will go for my concluding remarks. Then I will invite questions from you. And I found that a lot of focus we are giving now on triple bottom line reportings. Earlier, when I started teaching accounting, I was telling them that only one bottom line is there for the business organizations, that is profit. But then toward the end of 20th century, we focused on triple bottom line or this 3P. Why not to focus on planet or environment? Why not to focus on people or the society? Because all business organizations, they survive for the society. So in my concluding remarks, I will tell all of you that during this pandemic era, even though we have many difficult times, but many opportunities are also there, not only for business organizations, but also for higher educational institutions. Why not to exploit those kind of opportunities? There are a number of revolutions. I told you regarding, I was thinking that the Indian government will exploit this JAM. JAM means Jan Dhan Yojana, Aadhaar and mobile. In short, we call that JAM, J-A-M, for inclusive growth of India. Because that is the dream of India, inclusive growth. But the government is yet to exploit all those things. But these are revolutions, whether it's a digital revolution or mobile revolution. We have to accept it, we have to adopt it also. I know regarding poor students and I know their problems. We have to think regarding them also and find out many alternatives. Even in villages, we are developing community centers with one laptop or with a mobile having internet. And there the students are also reading. They are using the e-resources, e-books, e-journals, and all kinds of free e-resources provided by the government and provided by the college or universities or many other institutions. So we have to do that also to take care of those things. Unless I believe that the change is the only constant in today's world during this pandemic era. So all of us have to change. The students have to change, the teachers have to change, the higher education institutions have to change, whether it's college or university. So we have to change ourselves, and accordingly we have to do our duties, and all the teachers have to go for a learning process also. And unless we change, the warning bell is there on the wall. What is written on the wall? The warnings: either you perform or you perish. It's true for business organizations, it's true for higher educational institutions, it's also true for we the teachers. I am also including me, as I am working also. So therefore, that is my concluding thing. All of us have to change and accept many new normals so that we are able to perform. We will not think regarding the other part of the story. And we are able to perform and we are successful. With that, I think my 30 minutes are over and I invite questions from you.
Okay, many thanks, Professor Dr. Ranjan Kumar Ball, for nicely connecting the pandemic and this situation with the possible changes in the accounting regulations and possible impact on accounting. You have covered a broad area starting from 2008 global financial crisis. You have covered the adverse effect of pandemic on operations and cash flow that we are seeing in the business these days. You have touched upon inventory measurement, impairment of assets and revenue recognition. You have discussed about the risk reporting, where you nicely explained that how the numbers are changing to narratives to satisfy different stakeholders. As you have mentioned, the scams has led to the change in the Companies Act. Scams of 90s have led to change in the Companies Act. Probably this has also requirement for certain changes in the Companies Act. Sir, we have a question. We have rather two questions from Professor Jagannath Hati. The questions are written in the chat box. I'm just reading it out for you, sir. What are the ways to resolve the going concern uncertainty in business world today?
When this going concern challenge is there, we think that the organization will survive for a long time, but it's not happening. So many times the chartered accountants are going for realizable value. That is one of the things they're following. Earlier, they were ignoring that. In this COVID era, they are following that. How much can we realize from the assets? What is the realizable value of the assets? Earlier, we focused on book value of the assets. Now, many times they're going for the realizable value of the assets during this COVID era. Yes.
Okay, sir, Professor Hati has another question, probably that you have hinted in your discussion, whether there is any necessity for preparing new accounting standards. I think he means that new accounting standards due to this enormous difference that we have faced.
We have new accounting standards, which we call them as Ind AS. I told you that they are 99% IFRS. and always we are also changing. See, I told you that we have changed the Ind AS regarding leasing during this pandemic, because we have to meet the needs of the industry. The companies are suffering. So the Ministry of Corporate Affairs came out and changed. So like that, we have to bring changes in the accounting standards also when the need is there. The Accounting Standard Board of India, which formulates first the accounting standards, they are taking a lot of initiatives, including the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So they are doing their duties. And as teachers, please remember that these two ICAIs, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and Institute of Cost Accountants of India, regularly they are bringing out many rules, many guidelines on accounting or cost accounting or cost audit or this financial audit. As teachers, we have to read them while teaching to the students also. And we have to go to their website and keep in touch those things which are coming, or which are brought by these two ICAIs. Okay, next question.
Okay, there is a question from Abhijit Kumar. Since lockdown is lifted now, which sector of the Indian economy will grow faster?
Oh, we are very hopeful that most of the sectors will perform well, and in the new year we will have growth in double digits. That is the hope, that is the dream. And you know, even some backlogs are there in how automobile sector perform. So many factors are responsible, and we dream that India will become a pharma hub of the world. So what's the pharmaceutical sector? If we click, then India will supply the many medicines and many medical instruments to many countries of the world. And now we have record foreign exchange reserves. That record will increase again and again. So many sectors, we watch them. It's our dream that we will perform. And no doubt in the new year, a lot of hopes are there. But in the next financial year, we hope that the growth may be in double digit, not in this financial year. That is my observation. Next.
Okay, thank you, sir. As of now, we don't have any more question in the chat box. So thank you very much. We have a formal vote of thanks, but before that, I thank on my behalf.
I am there. I will listen to Professor Abhijit.
Okay.
So,
yeah, sure.
So I will listen to him. Always, it's a pleasure to listen to my young friend.
Yes. Same
Professor I also learn from him. He prepares a lot, and his address is always data-based.
Okay.
So I'm there. I'm not leaving.
Okay. Thank you. Our pleasure, sir. Thank you. So from here, we are moving to our next esteemed speaker, Professor Dr. Debashish Sood.